What is going on YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Random, and I'm going to keep this introduction short and sweet because within the next couple of minutes, I'm about to piss off a lot of people. That's right, because some of your favorite childhood cars actually turned out to be some of the most unreliable cars in history, which prompted me to make this video. And of course, I'm talking about the top 5 most unreliable cars in history. Part 1, that's right, part 1. That means there's going to be a part 2 coming very, very soon. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Let me don my flame suit and get ready for some hate comments. And we're going to start strong right off the bat with any Chrysler car, specifically the Dodge Chargers, Challengers, and Chrysler 300s from the year 2006 all the way up on 2010. Now, it doesn't matter if you bought the V6 version or the 5.7 Hemi, or like I did, which was the 6.1 liter Hemi. Almost every single one of these cars at one point or another is going to give you a complete headache. Now, normally I would actually show you clips of other people's cars broken down, but in this case, I actually own a 2008 Dodge Charger SRT8, and I can attest personally of every single problem this car has given me. From the air conditioning vent actuator motors breaking down. A new problem here with the SRT8, and it happens when we crank up the AC. So let's go ahead and turn up the AC. That's what I call it. I call it the woodpecker. There it is. There's the noise. I caught it. There's the woodpecker noise. You hear it? To the car overheating when you're using the auto stick feature. All right, well, there it is. You see the temperature start going up. I've only been driving for less than 5 minutes. To the freaking engine blowing on me, costing me $10,000 to replace. I'm out here at on the side of the road. There's the Charger right there. The car's starting to show several signs of transmission problems, as well as starting to leak coolant from somewhere that I cannot determine. The Charger SRT8 used to be, and still is, one of my favorite cars ever built. It was actually my dream car to own when I was a child, still in high school, and then eventually I ended up owning one, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that it is an extremely unreliable car. You guys read the title right. This ain't April Fool's, man. I wish it was April Fool's, but yo, the Charger's back at the shop. I had to drop it off at the dealership, and I'm starting to hear, when I accelerate, I'm starting to hear like a really loud whistling noise. Like, it pretty much sounds like they threw a turbocharger on it. Like, it makes that turbo whistle, and that's not normal for a car that's not turbocharged. Now, the next car on the list might be a shocker to most of you, and of course that is the 2010 to 2013 Ford Taurus Police Interceptor. Now, given the fact that it's relatively new compared to the vehicle that it replaced, of course, the Ford Crown Victoria, which spanned a service life of over 20 years, most of the problems that plague the Taurus Interceptor are not as widespread known. Well, that is until after today's video. And the problems span from the non-turbo engine to the 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine. Customers reported turbo downpipe leaks, and the majority of them also reported that the car has a loss of power when accelerating from a standstill, almost like if it's clogged up or it's having gearing issues. But the problems don't stop there. Believe it or not, there's actually been a plethora of recalls on the Ford Taurus Interceptor, including but not limited to faulty fuel pumps. That's right, guys, the problems that were plaguing the old Crown Vics that were causing them to blow up are also surfacing again on the Ford Taurus Interceptors. But moving on from consumer-based complaints, knowing personally many people who work in law enforcement vehicle repair shops, I can personally tell you that the Ford Taurus Interceptor has one of the weakest, most brittle transmissions in the car business today. Many repair shops report of failing transmissions anywhere after 70,000 miles, which is usually when these cars are made available to the general public to purchase. So next time you guys are in the market for a Ford Taurus Police Interceptor from 2010 to 2013, keep in mind of all the problems that might just be plaguing this car. Not only with the failing transmissions, but anything after 70,000 miles, you're asking for trouble, and you better have a full wallet to fix all the repairs that are going to come your way. Now, if the first two cars didn't cause the comment section to completely erupt into flames, and I'm pretty sure the next car on the list is going to cause a catastrophic infrastructural implosion of epic proportions. But either way, let's go ahead and move along with the list. And of course, I'm talking about the JDM legend itself, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Now, most of the problems that plague the Evo aren't as severe as the next cars on the list, but given the fact that this car has so much notoriety and it's so popular among the JDM world, it's a surprise that most of these problems are kept a secret. Now, most of the problems you might encounter when buying an Evo are that it has a super weak transfer case. Also, you might experience warping in the front brake rotors, not to mention all the coolant and overheating problems you might encounter, from faulty water pumps to the failed cooling fans to the clutch failing prematurely. Although buying a high-quality aftermarket clutch is highly recommended to fix this issue, other problems are it doesn't start or it stalls, usually caused by the crankshaft positioning sensor, to more severe problems like airbags completely failing to deploy. But believe it or not, the most common problem that afflicts the Lancer Evos is, are you ready for this? The clear coat paint may peel. That's right, it's not uncommon for the clear coat paint to develop white spots and begin peeling. In most cases though, Mitsubishi will not cover out of warranty repairs for this condition. So there you go, not as bad as you guys might have thought, but either way, plenty of problems for such a legendary car. Now moving on up to the next car on the list, and of course I'm talking about the Dodge Neon SRT4. Now, where do we start with the list of problems with the Neon SRT4? Well, I can tell you this, I actually considered buying one, not once, not twice, but 3 times in my lifetime, and every single time that I've done my research or I've come across an actual Neon SRT4, it's never failed to have something wrong with it. Now, most of the common problems that plague the Dodge Neon SRT4 are transmission problems, specifically third gear failing. The clutch pivot forks tend to go before 100,000 miles. There's also been many reports of the Neons actually catching on fire. There was actually a famous video on YouTube where the guy's Neon literally burst into flames in the middle of the highway. Other problems that plague the Neon SRT4 are the oil pans tend to leak, the heater cores break, and usually cost anywhere up to $3,000 to fix, the engine mounts break, the tie rods usually tend to go, the camshaft sensors, the O2 sensors, and the list goes on and on and on. So next time you guys are browsing through Craigslist looking for that next Dodge Neon SRT4, be wary of all the problems that usually tend to plague the car, because the last thing you want to do, especially if it's going to be your first car, is spend $5,000 on a Neon and another $5,000 fixing it. And our last car on the list proves that just because something is highly technological and all new and shiny and fancy doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be 100% fail-proof. And of course, I'm talking about the Tesla Model X. Now, if the thousands of people returning their Model X's isn't alarming enough for you, then let's go ahead and go down the list of problems that have plagued the Tesla Model X almost from launch. Some of the problems include the Falcon wing doors, the locks and latches, the power equipment, the in-car electronics, the climate system. You guys need to keep in mind the Tesla Model X is pretty much a giant iPhone on 4 wheels. Many drivers report problems with the front passenger door. For example, if the door closes, the window would not close, and if the window closed, the door would not. Not to mention the gull-winged Falcon opening doors that at times tend to be stuck or lose their synchronicity, either trapping the drivers inside or preventing them from going back into the vehicle. Not to mention the countless times that many drivers have reported their Tesla have been literally hacked. And of course, we cannot leave out the countless accidents that the self-driving features have caused in the Tesla Model X. Now, Tesla has definitely led and paved the way for electric vehicles for years to come, but there's always going to be room for improvement. Now I'm sure most of you haven't made it to the end of the video, so I'm just here eating my Junior Bacon Cheeseburger And I'm going to tell you, let's go ahead and stick around for part 2. And see if one of your favorite cars is going to make it to the list of some of the most unreliable cars in the history of humankind, in the entire universe. Either way, hopefully, if you made it this far into the video, congratulations, you just earned an achievement. You made it to the end of Mr. Random's video. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share it with your friends and rub it in their face if they're trying to get an Evo or an SRT4 or any of the cars that I mentioned in the list. Either way, I will catch you guys on your next video. Take care.